Welcome to the party, nerds, aka the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm your host, Darren Simple. With me, as always, is my co-pilot, Eric Hare. We appreciate everybody listening and watching in. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at the Nerd Rundown. You can find us on YouTube at the Nerd Rundown, and you can listen to our podcasts on all the major podcast services that you can find. How's it going, buddy?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. Feel like Kang. Kang's tired. He's looking for a replacement. I, however, am not looking for a replacement. We have a fantastic show as always for you guys today. Very pared down show, as we're going to spend a little bit more time on the Loki review. We'll cover some of the latest news on the rundown. Play some games today, and we love our games. We love our games. So do you guys. Apparently, we got some good feedback on that. So, and then we'll do a nerd question. We'll cap it off with a nerd question, singular, not plural. So to the rundown. Here we go. On the first piece of the rundown, Eric, you don't even have to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up for you. We got some Star Trek news for you Trekkies out there. WandaVision director Matt Shakman has been tapped to helm the new Star Trek movie with they want the Kelvin crew. They haven't signed anybody yet, but it's the one piece of Star Trek that I actually have enjoyed myself. I haven't seen Beyond, the third one, but the only reason I'm not avoiding it. So I'll get back to watching that at some point. So what do you think of this, Mr. Star Trek yourself?
No, I'm stoked, man. The Kelvin timeline stuff is pretty cool. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, and the rest of the crew. I'm really excited to see them. Come up for another adventure. The Kirk and Spock that they've created has been really good.
Carl Urban, that's his name. Yeah,
Carl Urban. Yep.
Yeah.
Which I always want to call him Keith Urban, but Carl Urban. But yeah, and then Gamora herself is in it also. So so
Zoe Saldana.
Yep, Zoe Saldana. Yep. So great news. Apparently the script's already written, so that's really cool. It's written by Geneva Robertson Dwyer, I think is how you say her last name, and Lindsay Beer. So which would be the first time that they've had a full-length feature Star Trek movie written by two women. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, looking forward to it. Shakman's got a pretty great pedigree of stuff that he's done. So, he's directed some of the Game of Thrones stuff, in addition to the in addition to the WandaVision stuff. So pretty excited. Star Trek Beyond was great. I think we talked about it last week in the fan question. To me, it's Justin Lin directed it. It's more of an episode of Star Trek, like a longer episode of Star Trek than it is like a film, I guess is kind of the way I look at it. But it just has this feel of a more fun episode where, the fate of the entire galaxy isn't at risk. It's more of a localized, and that's what Star Trek really was kind of like a local, each week is like you have like a planet of the week or a monster of the week, that type of thing. And so, or some sort of political situation of the week that you're trying to ethical thing that you're trying to wrestle with this week. And that's what Beyond kind of felt like too, it was more of a localized issue. And I think that's when Trek is really at its best, when it talks about like the ethical things of human beings. And, it's cool because Star Trek allows you to have an ethical discussion about something, and you can say, well, this alien species here and this alien species here are having this ethical debate. And so you're not talking about, this country here and this country here on Earth. And so you can have this discussion about them without people personally going, hey, I'm this and you're that, and that's what you're really talking about, so you can kind of work things out through, kind of metaphors and stuff like that. So I think that's when Trek is at its best. So I'm excited for this. I really am. I think Matt will do a great job. I think, with who they've got writing it, I think is going to be great too. And if they can get the rest of the Kelvin cast back together. So for those who don't know the Kelvin cast, you have the original William Shatner cast. To get around that, what they did was they created a time travel situation where something in the past, these guys went back in time and destroyed this ship, the Kelvin, and created this alternative branch. And that is how you get Chris Pine as Kirk and Zachary Quinto as Spock, and so that's
it was really clever how they did that.
It really was. It really was. So for all of the Star Trek purists, their timeline still exists. They still do all the things that they, all the adventures that they had, and nothing ever, happens there. That still exists, and it's pure. But then this Kelvin timeline takes place, and you get all these new adventures, so you get the more J.J. Abrams action adventure, less sci-fi, more action adventure. So
yeah, more appealing to people like me.
Yeah, people who hate normal Star Trek. Yeah.
I didn't say it, you said it.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, and looking forward to hearing more about when that starts coming together. So
yeah, I think they're targeting June 2023 is when the release date's what they're targeting, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, cool. And how release dates, they shift all the time. So
yeah, right. Yep.
We'll keep you up to date on the rundown. Black Adam has wrapped shooting next on the rundown. Black Adam starring Dwayne Johnson. I feel like this just started shooting.
It was quite quick, yeah.
It started shooting, I feel like, in March, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it started right before we first started the podcast. I think is when it started, right?
It really felt like right at the beginning as we were talking about it, and so. Hey, if it works, it doesn't matter how long it takes to shoot. It just gives a good product, and so we're excited to see Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, the anti-hero to Zachary Levi's Shazam. Looking forward to seeing how those two worlds will collide. I don't think that they will collide in this movie or in Shazam 2, but we probably start seeing some interconnectivity between the two moving forward, and at some point I'm sure they will square off, and it'll be funny to see Zach Levi, former Chuck star, take on The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, right.
And that's the movie magic we love.
Yeah.
Give us these nerds fighting Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
DJ, your buddy,
Yep. DJ. He's a good friend of mine. So
yeah, and the Rock, he
doesn't know it, but he's a good friend of mine. So he's got my loyalty. So I'm really loyal to him to the end.
He sends him messages. He's just very busy.
Yeah, he does. He's just it's fine. I know he'll get back to me. So what's funny is I never even watched wrestling. Like I never watched WWE or whatever, and I never watched The Rock. I never anything, but I've become a huge fan of him as an actor and and stuff. Just he's great.
I loved wrestling.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I loved wrestling in middle school.
Yeah.
It was life for my friends and I at the time, and oh my god.
My brother was big into it, and that was back in the WWF, before it was WWE.
Yeah.
My brother.
WWF and WCW. It was amazing. Late 90s.
I mean, I remember when WrestleMania got crazy in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and so I mean, I remember watching Hulk Hogan and
Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior and
who was
the Giant.
Gosh, I'm trying to think. One of my favorite, Andre the Giant, but I was trying to
Bushwhackers, Legion of Doom. Those guys were early 90s.
What was his name? Gosh, I can't think of who it is, you know, but anyhow, they
What did he do that was significant?
No, it was gosh, I'm trying to think.
Brain shutting down on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. So I was trying.
You have to let me know later.
Yeah.
To get back on topic of Dwayne Johnson and Black Adam, though.
Yeah, so he said the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is changing. So that was a pretty interesting phrase. So
very interesting phrase, and looking forward. I mean, how can you not have DJ Dwayne Johnson as the new Zeitgeist as the ultimate power. He is not the ultimate power, but I'd love to see him team up with Shazam one day, and possibly even maybe the Justice League to fight Darkseid. And if they ever restore the Snyderverse, maybe that can happen. Who knows?
Yeah. You know, I think maybe take a break from Batman and Wonder Woman, and you know, I mean, obviously they've still got plans for Aquaman and stuff, but you know, take a break from those guys for a little bit. Let the other guys kind of breathe and do their thing, and kind of reset everything. We'll see how it goes.
I like this line from The Rock. He says, "This has been one for the ages and easily the hardest labor and toughest grind mentally and physically of my entire career, worth every second." So he sent out a picture to kind of for the end of shooting, and he's battle worn Black Adam. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't even know who the bad person is. The bad guy. They haven't really. I don't know any story details about it, which is I like. Keep the story details away from me. I like to be surprised. You know, I really do. I think I think it's fun for everybody. You know, there's certain stuff that I want to know more about, but then there's other times where I put myself into a bubble. And I'm like, I don't want to know anything about that. I want to be surprised when I go to the theater. I try to avoid trailers, you know, that type of stuff. Which we're going to ruin a lot of things for you.
I know. It's just I got this job now that
the choices we make, Aaron.
Yeah, right.
So excited for that. Next on the rundown, though, interesting casting additions to Indiana Jones 5. We got Antonio Banderas and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, a name that is coming up in this world from her shows on Amazon, and she voiced the robot in Han Solo. She's becoming very, very popular. So excited to see what kind of additions they make to this story. Especially, I love me some Antonio Banderas. Maybe my all-time favorite GIF is him in Assassins, where he looks at his computer and he goes, "Yeah." Right. I mean, that thing hits every time. It's like the Catherine Hahn wink from WandaVision. So
I hated that movie. That was awful.
Assassins?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. But it's that GIF hits every time. It never misses its mark.
Whether you get a gem, you know, out of a total bomb or stinker of a movie, you get this one.
Sometimes that's all they get.
Yeah, it's one second, second and a half, and that's the immortality that it has. It's the only reason why anybody remembers that movie is because of that stupid GIF. But yeah,
that's not the one with Bruce Willis, is it?
No, it's with Sylvester Stallone.
It's Sylvester Stallone. That's what it is. Yeah,
it's Banderas and Stallone.
What's the one with Bruce Willis where he's an assassin?
That would be they have the Jackal.
Jackal, that's what I'm thinking.
Where he's the bad guy, and he's got like blonde hair and and
not like what's this? Why can't I think of the space movies in with blonde hair?
Fifth Element. Yeah. It's really bad. It's really bad blonde hair.
It's really bad blonde hair. That fits in with the space theme and everything. Yeah. But this is like, what are you doing here with this choice?
The hairstyle I think is probably worse than the color, because it's the part is really bad. I think
gay in that movie?
He's an opportunistic assassin, so I think he takes advantage of whatever it takes to do what he needs to do. And so, yeah, there is a scene where he's...
Is that Jack Black in that movie?
There is a scene with Jack Black, and that's
where
actually the only... Yes, that is the greatest scene in the entire movie, is he fine-tunes the auto track on this automatic rifle using Jack Black and slowly... cuts into pieces with this. And
I think that's
the only saving grace in that entire movie.
I think it's the only scene I can remember in that.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, way off track. I can't. But, that's like episode 1 through 3 rundown stuff.
Yeah.
Getting off track.
Well, Antonio Banderas is great, man. I mean, I'm excited for that. I haven't seen him in anything in a long time, so and it's probably not that he hasn't done anything. It's just I haven't seen him in anything. But I mean,
small stuff.
Yeah. His mariachi in Desperado is still one of my favorite action movies of all time.
Love
it. Yeah,
love that movie.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting to see where they go with that. How they make an addition to that movie.
I did see they posted a picture of something related to like the parade from them landing on the moon, like 1969. So I don't know if that's when it's going to take place or whatever, but or at least the time period that they're talking about for this. So it seems to be kind of all over the place. Like it's going to be maybe flashbacks to early Indy, maybe, and I'm not sure. So we'll find out. So I know Harrison Ford got injured
again. I think he gets injured more than anybody. I think he's been injured on every single movie set he's ever been on. Fleabag that's the Amazon Prime show that she's gotten a lot of attention from. So
yeah.
And listen to this transition. So Phoebe Waller-Bridge was in Fleabag, a show called Flea Bottom, in the Game of Thrones history has been canceled. Now, what HBO or whomever, HBO Max, they own the Game of Thrones universe. They are expanding this universe through the House of the Dragon show that's coming out next year, and then they are doing 2 more animated spinoffs, and they've canceled the Flea Bottom show.
Yeah.
So, thoughts on that, Mr. Eric Hare?
Yeah, I'm not sad about it. I really am not. The Flea Bottom stuff seemed weird to me, and like, I mean, the animated stuff there's nothing wrong with the animated.
I think this universe will thrive in the animated form.
Yeah, for sure. I just a series around Flea Bottom seemed silly to me. It's like, I mean, because it's like, okay, well, it's the seedy side of Westeros, I guess. Of King's Landing specifically, I guess, but Westeros, but it's like, okay, who cares? Like, I mean,
right.
I just didn't see how they were going to make it work. And apparently the HBO didn't either. So
I don't even know like how it got to the creative floor, or like where did it get to? It got pretty far into like, this is gonna be a thing,
right?
Now that was also at the height of Game of Thrones. Like, it was announced, I think, before season 8 came out.
Yeah,
and they were throwing every kind of Game of Thrones against the wall.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if Naomi Watts' series didn't make it, and yet we're still talking about it, because at no time after I got done watching an episode on Sunday night did I go, you know what I really want to know more about? You know what I want to see more stories from is Flea Bottom. Like, I want to know more about what's happening in the ghetto. In the ghetto of King's Landing. Yeah. Because just tell me more stories there. It's now, I'm sure there's a porno series that they want to do there, but
I'm sure that's already been made.
Yeah.
I think what's his name? He was Tyrion's sellsword and bodyguard for a while. I can't remember his name, but he was a really great character in the show.
Oh, he was awesome. Yeah.
And he was from Flea Bottom, so if it showed like maybe like his origin story and they tied something like that into it, great. But you're not going to create a massive Game of Thrones show just by doing Flea Bottom. So I'm really glad that got axed. And then the 2 animated shows, did they say what those are even about? It doesn't say.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Oh, here we go. Braun. Yep. That's it. Braun.
Yep.
The Hollywood Reporter reports that one of these potential shows will be set in the golden empire of Yeti and Essos. So that's the continent on the other side of the world.
Right.
And it's a location that's inspired by Imperial China.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that. Essos is like, there's so much potential in Essos.
Yeah.
And there is so much time. I mean, that's where the world started. Westeros is like brand new. It's like America compared to Europe. Yeah. And so that's again going back to Flea Bottom. It's like, you guys have all this other stuff, and you guys chose Flea Bottom. But
right, yeah.
They also made season 8 of Game of Thrones, so I not surprised.
Yeah, people get drunk on their own supply sometimes, they think they're making all the right decisions and stuff. So yeah, I
don't know, but I do think animated is the way Game of Thrones will kind of get back into our hearts. I think that's a really smart decision, and you can do a lot within the animated world. So
for sure,
looking forward to it.
Me too.
Cool.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, and that's it for the rundown. It was a very it was a very MCU heavy week in the news, and we've been covering the MCU a lot lately, and so no need to talk about the same stuff over and over again. Plus, we're going to get into the Loki review, and a lot of that stuff does tie into the MCU. So, with Black Widow and Loki. Black Widow coming out, Loki finishing up. It was a really heavy MCU week, and
well, and
we cover all as much as we can outside of the MCU.
Yeah, and the MCU heavy stuff was all kind of behind the scenes, like little bits, like the rule sets for what we're going to be doing moving forward and stuff. So for, if you're really following this stuff super close, it's something, but it's not something we can't talk about later and be like, hey, this is,
it was no breaking news type stuff.
Yeah.
It was more just like you get context around certain things, although we'll talk more about some of that. There is some interesting things that did come out, so we'll talk about it in Loki.
Yeah, for sure.
Watch Loki when you're done with this. All right.
Yeah.
I sent you a link.
You did.
I don't like to, when we do games, I like to have Eric be surprised at the very last moment about what the game is. Here's what we're doing today.
Where did you send it to me?
In our regular chat.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to set up while you're pulling that up.
Okay.
I've got two different sets of movie trivia questions. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to be asking you 80s movie trivia.
Okay.
And you're going to be asking me 90s movie trivia.
Oh, sweet. Okay, because I'm older. I get it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, like way older.
Yeah, so. Way older. Get my walker. I'm not quite Harrison Ford. I didn't get hurt on the way here, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, Harrison Ford's. I mean, that guy just. It's an accident waiting to happen.
Yes.
Oh. Let me know when you have it up, and let me know if it's the 90s. I said the right link, right?
It is the 90s, yes, and I am ready. I am ready to go. So.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to ask you the first question, and I haven't seen the 80s. And I definitely haven't seen the 90s, so I can't. Okay. Going in blind, I'm sure that some of this will be super easy, and hopefully some of it will be super hard. But if it's all super easy, it's not my fault. I didn't make the questions. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So. Number one question. Ooh, this is a good one. Which 80s movie was the highest grossing film of the decade?
Ooh. 80s movie is the highest grossing film of the decade. Let's see.
This is interesting.
Titanic would have been the 90s one. Yeah. So the 80s. I'm gonna go with
like the Jeopardy theme.
I'm gonna go with like E.T. Was E.T.?
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, E.T.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 1982 movie surpassed Star Wars to become the highest-grossing film of all time. The movie held that record for 11 years until it was surpassed by Jurassic Park in 1993.
No kidding. Sweet.
Which also, I didn't know Jurassic Park was at one time the highest-grossing movie of all time.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So Steven Spielberg held it twice then. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and then James Cameron came along and held it twice.
Yeah, he's held it. Yeah. So is Avatar still?
So Endgame overtook Avatar, and then they re-released Avatar, I think, last year, and it overtook Endgame.
It's ridiculous.
Now just release Endgame, and we'll go make that number one again.
Yeah. All right. So what is the name of Will Smith's character in Independence Day?
Ooh, I know this because he's my favorite. Was one of my favorite action figures growing up. That's Captain Stephen Hiller.
Stephen Hiller.
Yeah.
Yep. Well done. Well done. That's such a great movie, man.
That's a great movie.
Gosh, I love it.
Love it. All right, this is an easy one. Softball one for you.
All right.
Which 80s movie was Alan Rickman's first feature film role?
Oh, yeah, Die Hard.
Yeah.
I get that one. All right. You're going to get...
I like, real quick, I like this little excerpt. The 1988 film grossed over $140 million worldwide and turned Bruce Willis into an action star. Before then, he had been known only as a comedy actor. Willis filmed the comedy television series Moonlighting at the same time as Die Hard. Beethoven's Ode to Joy is the terrorist theme song in the movie, and Rickman can be seen humming the song during his elevator scene with Mr. Takagi. You would know all this if y'all watched our Die Hard themed
episode. Die Hard themed episode, yes.
So. We covered all of
that. Nice suit. It's John Phillips, London.
I have two myself.
All right. This is a softball too. Which 1997 film stars Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, and John Malkovich?
I have such a guilty pleasure with this movie, and it's Con Air.
Yes, absolutely. Why don't you just put the bunny in the box? Just put the bunny back in the box.
Man, that is one of those infinitely quotable movies.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well,
I'm going to show them that God does exist.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it had such a great ensemble cast too. They had a really good ensemble cast.
I always thought that was a Michael Bay movie.
It was very Michael Bay, but I think it was produced by Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer, or at least Jerry Bruckheimer.
At minimum, Jerry Bruckheimer had a hand in it.
Yeah, and so he has a look about his stuff that he wants. So
okay, you ready for this? This is a good one. This question is a little bit of a Easter egg to the show Community, which has nothing to do with the answer. But which 80s movie spawned 6 sequels and a TV series? And I only say Community because Community always said 6 seasons in a movie, and this is kind of opposite. Six sequels and a TV series. Definitely not the sequels.
Oh, the Terminator.
No.
Really?
Is there? Oh yeah, there is a Terminator TV series. This Chronicles of Sarah Connor. No. Yeah. Comedy.
Oh, it's a comedy. 6 sequels. Comedy that did 6 sequels.
I actually didn't know it was that there's that many of these movies.
The Police Academy?
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. I'm going back to the Terminator there. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Terminator 3. Salvation, Genesis, and
Dark Fate.
Whatever. Dark Fate, and then the TV series for Sarah Connor. So I'm actually 2 for 2 on that one. I should get get bonus. I should get extra credit for that one. So
the fact that you named Terminator like that, knowing that it had, well, is it 6 movies? Six Terminator movies.
So
of which Police Academy was was Police Academy 1, and then it spawned 6 sequels. So there's seven total Police Academy movies and 1 TV series. I'm going to take your extra credit away.
All right. I don't think I ever watched past 2. I think I watched maybe 3. I think I watched
the first 4. The first 4 are good. Yeah. After that, it turns into debauchery.
Yeah. All right. This one's actually pretty challenging. So if you get this one, I will be pretty surprised.
I get extra credit?
Yeah, I'd be really impressed. So, because I wouldn't be able to get this one.
Oh.
How many people were killed in the 1996 film Scream?
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. It is less than 10. That's actually in the question. It's less than 10. So.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to go with, okay, let me see if I just count them real quick. I'm going to go with 7.
Wow. Yeah, 7, right on. Yeah. Well done. We'll see you later. I'm just,
Yes, we're on it today.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So the 7 victims.
I feel like I've heard that before, and maybe that's why it popped into my head.
Yeah. 7 victims in order of their deaths were Steve Orth, Casey Becker, Principal Hembry, Tatum Riley, Kenny Jones. Oh man, Kenny Jones.
Which one was Drew Barrymore?
Casey Becker.
She died before,
or her boyfriend gets killed.
That's right.
Her boyfriend gets killed before that. Remember, he's in the chair on the.
Good thing I forgot about him, because when I counted in my head, no.
Yeah.
I just said 7. Awesome.
Yeah. So
all right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Stu Mocker, and then I'm not gonna tell you who the last one is, because it might give away for those who have never seen the movie. Which, if you haven't seen Scream, wow.
Yeah, it came. Spoiler alert! It came out in 1996. Go watch it.
It did. Yes. Again, there's a episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast where we cover one of the greatest years in movie history.
Exactly. Okay, number 4 for the 80s.
Okay.
This. I'll be impressed if you get this one.
Okay.
Which 80s movie was the first to become a hit largely due to MTV? Gonna make me sing a song here.
Cocktail?
No. I love Cocktail. God, that's a good movie. Tom Cruise is so good in Cocktail.
Is it a Tom Cruise movie though?
It is not a Tom Cruise movie.
Okay.
I don't know how to hint this without giving it away, so let me know when you're ready to hint it, and I'll.
Yeah, just go ahead, give it to me.
What a feeling.
Oh. I still don't know what a feeling.
Oh. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Deadpool parried a poster off of it.
Is it Flashdance?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
MTV spawned that one? Okay.
Well, it says the 83 film had a decent opening weekend, but the soundtrack was what catapulted the film to success. The movie's music producers and artists worked quickly to make music videos so they could air on MTV.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I think the part that made that famous was that the fact that she was like dumped the water on her. That's the only thing I remember is when she's in that chair and she leans back and pulls the string and the water pours on her.
Yeah.
And that was softcore 80s porn for everybody. Who are like, oh, I can.
For the 7-year-olds in the world.
Yeah, like, hey, we can watch that. So it's like, yeah, okay, all right. So number 4 for you. What year was Forrest Gump released?
1995.
Final answer.
1994.
Final answer. Do you want to phone a friend? Maybe a helpline.
It's one of the two. I'm gonna go with 1994.
So you're adjusting. You're moving from 1995 to 1994.
Why are you making me doubt myself?
I no way am I trying to win this at all.
All right. So. I'm going 94. Final answer.
Final answer. Well done, sir. Moving from 95 to 94 was the right answer. Yep, 1994. Iconic film was the top grossing film in the U.S. for 1994. Won 45 awards and had 65 nominations.
I mean, it's a top 3 movie for me all time. It's just one of those movies that I'll never, ever not get sick of.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah, and it was say about that. It was Tom Hanks at his peak of
second back-to-back Best Actor awards.
Yep.
Best back-to-back Best Actor Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
He
really
almost won it for Apollo 13 the next year.
Yes, and I.
He probably should have won.
He probably should have won it for that too, but I think by then it's like, hey man, can somebody? You gotta let somebody else.
Yeah, they were like, okay.
Yeah.
I forget who did win it over him.
1995.
Well, it would have been the 1996 Oscars for the previous year.
Oh right, yeah.
But anyway.
I'll look that up. So
okay, so, Forrest Gump. It's one of those movies that I if it's on, I watch it. I'll put it on every once in a while, and I never get sick of it. It's just It's got every emotion possible. It's one of the most underrated, funny movies of all time.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage won for Leaving Las Vegas in
1996.
1996.
Does it say that Tom Hanks was nominated for Best Actor for Apollo 13 at that time?
Let's take a look here and see.
So this was also the
Apollo 13 did win 9. They won 2 awards and had 9 nominations. So
yeah. Apollo 13 is like one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, James
that's why
Horner.
I really want to do a 1995 episode 2 soon, because that was an incredible year for movies. Batman Forever and
Braveheart.
Speed, Braveheart, so Apollo 13.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stack it up against 96. Anyway,
yep.
I got my list. It's moving to movie quotes.
Okay.
These are really easy though.
All right.
I mean, all of these are super easy. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna fire them off.
Okay.
And see how fast you can get them. Okay.
All right.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Airplane.
Snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes?
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Which actually now they have called it. They stopped calling it Raiders of the Lost Ark, and now they call it Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones or is it Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, or just Indiana Jones tagline Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm not sure, but I know they've changed it to just.
It's like A New Hope wasn't always A New Hope. It was Star Wars.
It used to be just Star Wars, and then they kind of retro acted.
Okay, we came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Ghostbusters.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Breakfast Club.
Life moves pretty fast. If you
Ferris
don't stop in there. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
The Princess Bride.
Carpe diem, boys. Seize the day. Make your lives extraordinary.
I don't know that one.
That would be Robin Williams, John Keating, and Dead Poets Society.
Oh, Dead Poets Society. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. I know that one. You got some rapid fire easy ones, and you hit that one.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? I could disappear forever, and it wouldn't make any difference. Banana to get this one.
Oh. Is this 16 Candles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good job. Okay. Then it goes to movie soundtrack trivia, so I'll pause.
Okay. Yep. That's kind of where we're at after this one. So.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So number 5 for you. Gosh, this was such a great movie. Who is? And I have a separate question I'll ask you real quick. Okay. Who is Kaiser Soze in the film The Usual Suspects?
Like the
Who's the actor who plays?
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
I was like, he's the killer.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah. So,
Kevin Spacey.
yeah. So, and I only know this one because of a TV show that I watch called Psych. It's not on anymore, but it's one of my favorite shows. But how many F-bombs are in the Usual Suspects? Do you have any idea?
No. 2?
F-bombs in The Usual Suspect.
Is it a lot?
It is.
I've seen that movie one time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay. It's 98 times.
Oh. Is that a lot?
98. Like in a PG-13 movie, you're allowed 1.
Yeah. Well, that's in today's world. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I don't know, that may not be that many if you're a big fan of like Scorsese, because or like any of those.
I was gonna say, have you watched
Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci films? Yeah, that's just getting warmed up. I think that's the first 10 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah. So all right. So yeah. So Kaiser Soze, well done. So Kevin Spacey, Roger Verbal Kent.
Yep.
And his barbershop quartet that he was in. So
yeah. Did your list not have movie quotes? I was really hoping it would.
I do not see any movie quotes. At least not
like
here.
Movie quotes.
Oh no, I do. There is movie quotes trivia down there, but it's after the scores.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. I got 80s movie soundtrack trivia here.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, this is easy. Who sang Danger Zone from Top Gun?
Kenneth Loggins. Kenneth
Kenny Loggins, yeah. Which 1980s theme song was entirely instrumental and reached #1 in multiple countries due to a remix?
Remix.
Hint.
Axel F.
Yeah.
Axel F. from Beverly Hills Cop. Yep. Okay.
Which 1980s theme song was recorded in just 3 hours?
Jeez, I don't even know that theme song. Only 3 hours. I don't know.
Don't you forget about me.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Incredible.
That's one of my favorite songs. Like of all time, that's one of my favorite songs. That's pretty incredible. I had no idea.
Which 1980s theme song inspired its own separate film? Really?
Wow. No idea.
Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, okay.
Must have spawned its own movie.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
All right, what you got?
Well, that was interesting because that song was supposed to be in the Karate Kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then they.
You're the best.
Yeah, they ended up using Joe Esposito's "You're the Best," and I think either Rocky used "Eye of the Tiger" and then they went with Joe's, or it was the other way around. I can't remember, but it was supposed to be used in one of the others. So,
and so is "Eye of the Tiger" or "You're the Best"? Is that the?
Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. Well, I love Originally, I think Eye of the Tiger was always my favorite, but as I get older, I enjoy You're the Best more and more every time I hear it.
It fits that just whole scene like in the tournament so well. We actually just watched, we threw it on the other night.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be watching Karate Kid 2 at some point this week, so it'll be on in the house, but yeah. Looking forward to it. All right, what do you got for me?
All right, so let's see. What year was the song "My Heart Will Go On" from Titanic released?
now I got to think about what year Titanic was released. Was Titanic in 1997?
It was, yes.
So was it released in 1997?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Well done. Well done. Yeah.
Have I missed anything?
No, I don't think you have.
No, yeah.
I think you were on. I tried to get you on the
Scream.
The Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, and I was almost wrong.
Yeah. Do you want all the soundtrack ones? Let's just run through them.
Rapid fire.
All right. So, which artist sang the song "Oh Pretty Woman" from the film Pretty Woman?
I don't know. You got me on that one.
That's actually an old one, so I don't know that. Yeah. Roy Orbison is the.
Well, you could have played Hangman with me on that one.
Yeah,
I got that one.
Okay, which '90s movie featured the Looney Tunes on its soundtrack?
Space Jam.
You got it. Which '90s movie soundtrack is the best-selling soundtrack of all time?
Ooh. The best-selling soundtrack of all time.
Yep. And I'm so excited for you not to answer this so I can give you a clue.
Okay, give me a clue because
it's going to be...
Oh, wait. I know this. Before you... Hold on. It's Batman Forever. Batman Forever.
It is not. It is
Oh,
not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a hint.
Okay, are you ready? This is going to be like maybe in our trailer number 2. This will be in here. It's just, and I will always love you.
Ghost?
No.
Wait. And The Bodyguard.
Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. And
best selling of all time.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And
Whitney Houston sings her ass off in that song.
She was amazing.
Incredible.
The 1992 film sold more than 45 million copies. Soundtrack for the 1992 film sold more than 45 million copies. It featured 5 hit singles by Whitney Houston: "I Will Always Love You," "Run to You," "I'm Every Woman," "I Have Nothing," and "Queen of the Night." The film was Houston's acting debut and was the second highest grossing film of 1992 next to Aladdin, which is also one of my favorite movies. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Great movie.
Good question.
Okay. Which 90s movie featured the songs "My Guy" and "I Will Follow Him"?
Say that again.
Which 90s movie featured the songs "My Guy" and "I Will Follow Him"? I would not have gotten this, and frankly, it's...
My Guy? Yeah. I never even heard of these two songs.
Yeah.
No.
It's Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg from... Yeah, right.
Oh, My Guy!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which artist sang the hit Unchained Melody from the film Ghost?
Oh,
Come on. It's a group.
Yeah.
It's actually 2 people that came from the same parents.
Give me a hint.
I just did. It's 2 people that came from the same parents. So their last thing is when you have 2 guys in the same...
Something Brothers.
Yes. Yes. Well done. And if you're...
What's their last name start with?
That's a good question.
It doesn't say.
Actually, they're not actually brothers. That's the funny part about it. But
so your hint doesn't work.
Well, it does, because I'm trying to get you to understand that it's brothers. So it's the Righteous Brothers.
Oh, the Righteous Brothers. That's right. Dang it! I should have known that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's a great Unchained Melody is one of my favorites as well. It's a great song. What were the 3 songs the band Aerosmith sang for the 1998 movie Armageddon, which we talked about last week on the Michael Bay episode?
There was three of them?
There were. Mm-hmm. 2 of them were new for the soundtrack, I believe. At least one of them was new for the soundtrack, and then one of them was a classic one from the 70s from them.
I can't think. I mean,
What's the big one?
the big one is I don't want you.
Yep. Yep. Well done. Yes. Well done.
You got it.
It's what is it? What's stinking up the place with cheap cologne? I don't want to miss I don't want to miss a thing.
I don't want to miss a thing.
It's the one that you mumbled through.
I was like, is it I can't breathe without you? No, I can't die with that. I was like, no.
Yeah. I actually
miss a thing without you.
I actually don't know
when the other songs are played.
I don't know the other. Well, I do know one.
What are they?
Okay, so
knowing that I just watched this movie recently,
so two of them are originals. So there was another one that they sang called "What Kind of Love Are You On?" And I don't remember that song in the movie, and I just don't know. But the other one is the part where they're where they're testing they start testing a lot of the like the equipment and everything, and so in the background kind of setup is the Sweet Emotion song where they go do, and I'm sure you know that one, but Sweet Emotion.
I need you to sing it to me.
Yes. So and I think that's where they're testing like the crawlers, the extra vehicular or the extra, those they have the drill mount on them and stuff, and like the vehicles that they drive around on the asteroid. I think that's the scene where they're testing that, or maybe it's in the water. Actually, I think it's the montage where they're like in the water, going through like training and stuff like that. I think that's where that song gets played. So Sweet Emotion's a great tune. Like it's a classic tune.
What's the other one?
Really good. It's So I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. What Kind of Love Are You On? and Sweet Emotion. I don't know What Kind of Love Are You On? I don't know that one. Okay. So then we're now I'm down to 90s movie quotes trivia. So
okay. So I'm the only thing left on my list is animated 80s movies. So I'm going to fire through those, and then we'll get to those. We'll cap it off with those. Okay. All right. I know. Good. Yeah. Let's see how good you are with this stuff. Okay, which movie marked the beginning of a long string of successful Disney movies, sometimes called the Disney Renaissance era? It was this. It went this one, and then it was Aladdin, Lion King.
Is it Beauty? Is it? It's either the Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, or
not Beauty and the Beast.
Was it Little Mermaid?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, good. What is the name of, because it went Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King.
Aladdin is hands down my favorite, but I do enjoy
my personal favorite too.
Yeah.
Which film was Disney's? Was this the next one? No. Let me be able to read. What is the name of the lead character in The Secret of NIMH? This would be tough for me. I've seen this movie a lot when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Mrs. Brisby.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
When I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Which film was Disney's first animated film to use computer graphics?
That would be Aladdin.
No. Because Aladdin was in the 90s and you're answering 80s only.
Oh, okay. To use computer graphics. Would that be Toy Story?
No, Toy Story is in the 90s too.
Is it in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Fox and the Hound.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. What type of dinosaur is Littlefoot from The Land Before Time?
A brontosaurus?
See, I always thought it was a brontosaurus.
Or is it a brachiosaurus?
No, brachiosaurus goes straight up.
Okay.
Those are the big ones in the Jurassic Park movies.
I should go ask my 5-year-old. He'd know, but yeah.
But seeing the answer to this is an apatosaurus.
Oh, okay, sure.
I always thought it was a brontosaurus.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is between apatosaurus.
I don't either. Again, I'll ask my 5-year-old. He knows,
yeah.
so.
Come here, Jack.
Yeah.
Which 80s animated movie's tagline was "Beyond good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination"? A movie we talked about, or a movie franchise we talked about last week.
Beyond good.
It's a movie franchise we just talked about last week.
I can't remember last week. Go
ask your son.
The ghost? Is this the...
Go ask your son this question. Go ask Jack this question. That's my hint. You look confused as to what your son's favorite movie franchise is.
Yeah, the Transformers or Jurassic stuff. So Transformers?
Yes. It's Transformers the movie, 1986 film.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, the animated one. Okay. Yep. We were talking about animated stuff. I got to keep my head in the game. Okay. Yep.
Last question. What is the name of the main character from All Dogs Go to Heaven? These are tough ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I ever saw it.
Charlie B. Barkin. Yo.
Okay. Yeah, I to be honest, I've never even seen any of the All Dogs.
I didn't know it was going to delve into animated movies trivia, so I apologize. But
I was like the 12, 13, I think when that one came out. Like what year did that come out? All Dogs Go to Heaven.
89.
Yeah, I was
It
12.
came out the same day as Little Mermaid.
I was like 13 or 14 back then, and I don't know if you remember, but you're kind of a douche when you're like a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah,
like you're kind of a and so when you don't want to be involved in any little kid stuff, and the animation like that to me was like all little kid stuff. I was not interested.
Listen to this. The 89 musical comedy was released the same day as Disney's The Little Mermaid. The movie became one of the biggest selling VHS releases, and it inspired a television series. Judith Barcy, who voiced Anne Marie, was murdered before the film was released.
Oh my Lord. That's terrible.
Holy crap.
That is awful.
All right, let's cap it off with some rapid fire movie quote trivia for Stem Dizzle here.
Yep, here we go. There's no crying in baseball.
A League of Their Own.
Yes. Not the best quote from that particular character in the movie, by the way. The best quote in the movie is when he signs the baseball for the kid, and the kid goes, avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. And then he goes, I just think that's the funniest thing ever. So anyhow.
I don't remember that line.
You don't remember that? He signs the baseball for the kid. The kid goes, hey, Jimmy, will you sign my baseball for me? And he goes, yeah, of course. So he grabs the ball, he signs it, and then the kid reads it, and he goes, avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. and then Tom Hanks looks at him and goes, that's good advice. All right. You can't handle the truth.
A Few Good Men.
You got it. I See Dead People.
6 Sense.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Home Alone.
You got it. You had me at hello.
Jerry Maguire.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Chris
Yep.
Tucker,
Yep.
Jackie Chan.
Yep.
Rush Hour.
You got it. What's in the box?
7.
Yeah. I'm the king of the world.
Titania?
Molly.
A little indie film called Titanic.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
You're in danger.
We just talked about another movie that actress was in for the soundtrack stuff.
I don't know. That didn't help on that clip.
All right, so we talked about the actress who plays Molly recently. She was in a 90s movie, several 90s movies where they tried to make her a star. She's married to Bruce Willis, or was married to Bruce Willis.
Oh, Demi Moore?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ghost.
You got it. Nice job. Yeah. What was Robin Williams' first animated film? It's not Aladdin.
First animated film.
Yeah.
Not Disney.
It is not. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hint?
Fern Gully. Last round.
Oh. Yeah. You know, actually, I feel like I heard that recently.
Yeah.
Like you said. Cool. All right, we good?
Yeah, we're good.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I like quizzing you on older movies. And
I got a chance to sing, and I feel like I did terrible on that. So, but,
on the singing or on the trivia?
yeah, both. So.
I think you sang beautifully.
Thank you.
All right, one nerd question today, and I love this question because it kind of seems like it was maybe inspired by the Star Trek question for you.
Yeah.
And this is a question where we both can answer it.
Yeah.
So Meg Bradbury chiming in. Do I have to have? Oh man, Meg, screwing me up on my words here. Do I have to have watched all the Star Wars movies to enjoy things like The Mandalorian, The Clone Wars, etc.? How do I get started in the Star Wars universe? Should I watch the movies in chronological timeline order or the order they were released? Help a Star Wars noob out. And she's like, I hate the word noob, and I actually hate the word noob too.
I do too. Yeah.
But if she said, if the word fits. So I did multi-layered question here.
Yes.
Let's start with the how she should watch the movies timeline. Okay?
Yeah.
I think you should watch. It's hard not to say chronological time, but as a longtime Star Wars fan, you almost have to watch the original trilogy first and experience it that way.
Yes.
Because that's just the way the story flows. It doesn't, when you watch it in chronological timeline, you maybe get a little bit more for Anakin in the early days.
Yes.
But when you get to see him as Darth Vader and what he becomes, and then you go back and you watch his transformation, I think it hits a little bit harder.
Much.
And I think that's why you need to watch in release order. Yes. Now, the funny thing about that is it's really fun to watch Rogue One right before Episode 4. So
sure, yeah.
But you can't. But you can't, because you have to watch. You have to start with A New Hope. You have to start there and go back and add in Rogue One later on.
Yeah. I would watch them in order of release also. You know, I think that's pretty easy. That's a pretty easy recommendation for me. Mainly because if you watch them in chronological order, the emotional impact of a couple of scenes is stripped away, you know, because of the situation that it is. So you know, try not to release any spoilers out there, which, I mean, at this point, if you
Meg hasn't watched them yet, so no spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't watched them, so I would definitely say the order of release is the best way to go about them. And
it is crazy how your perspective changes when you watch them in chronological order. It's like, huh, it's like a different viewing experience. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff where you can watch them in chronological order and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, you know, because there's really not a lot in there that you're going to be like, oh, you know, this doesn't make any sense to me, you know, that type of stuff. So that's a fun thing to do, is you can watch those in chronological. Star Wars doesn't operate that way. In fact, it's the opposite, you know, definitely release cycle. So, you know, to enjoy The Mandalorian, you don't. Like, I honestly think you could watch the first 3 movies, the original trilogy, and then jump straight into The Mandalorian and be just fine. So
totally. You do not need to watch any of the sequel trilogy. There's some, and I don't recommend watching this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's so there's some depth. So I have not watched the Clone Wars animated series at all. And
Penny and I are going through it right now. It's really good. It makes so here's another piece to that question is, no, you don't need to necessarily watch any Star Wars to watch The Mandalorian.
Yep.
But watching the prequels, or watch the prequels and then watch Clone Wars. The Clone Wars enhances the prequel viewing. Yeah. And so there are certain things you need to watch, and then there's certain things you don't need to watch.
Yeah. So
Clone Wars, Rebels, and now the Bad Batch is out right now, and looking forward to getting to that at some point.
Yeah, and I think you just those series. I'm not a big animation fan. Like I just am not a big animation person. I don't watch a lot of animation. I do because my kids watch it, and so, but I'm not going to go like seek out an animation type show, because there's a lot of shows on TV that are more adult oriented that are animation, and I still just don't get into them. I mean, I used to watch Family Guy, but I stopped watching that a while ago.
Me too.
And that was South Park, South Park, and so occasionally I'll watch them from time to time, but I'm just not that big of an animation person. But I think Clone Wars, I think those other series, they all add depth, like you said, and if you're going through Clone Wars, I think they just add depth to the lore, the Star Wars lore, and allow you to see and dig deeper into that universe. But yeah, I like I said, watch the first three, 4, 5, and 6, the original trilogy. Watch those, and then 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, and then if you're a glutton for punishment, so you can watch the other ones. But
although maybe watch them, Meg, and let us know what you think. Coming from a non-Star Wars fan like you, Meg, maybe your perspective on those movies is totally different, and I do think that they try to make those movies to appeal to a wider audience, and maybe not so much to the Star Wars purists. So I mean, I've been interesting what you think of that.
I've been in Star Wars for 44 years, basically. Because it came out in 1977. So I mean, I've been in Star Wars for 44 years. So
been in it.
Yeah, like living it, And so we went to Disney on our vacation, and we went to Hollywood Studios, and they have the Galaxy's Edge place there, and I'm telling you, man, I had chills when I walked onto, because they have this Smuggler's Run where you walk into the Millennium Falcon, and you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon. I got chills walking through the hallways of the Millennium Falcon. Yeah. And you walk in, and it's, the rounded hallways, and you walk into the room where Luke and Obi-Wan fought, like they had that conversation. There's the chessboard where 3PO and Chewie and all them sat, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, and then if I go down that hallway, that's where the cockpit is, and it was super cool to be there just for a few seconds, and everything. So yeah, it was great. It really was. Yep.
Love it. Well, I can't wait to get there. Meg, get started on it. Let us know. Keep us informed as you go through it, what you think, and definitely watch in release order, and then watch the rest as you wish. But The Mandalorian is probably it's up there with the original shows as the best of the best. So it's really great, and this is actually a really great time to join into the Star Wars universe. And I say that because we had kind of this train wreck of the 3 movies, and they've really, because I think they just thought they could just put out whatever they wanted and everybody would go see it and everybody would love it, and that's not what happened. There's plenty of other choices for customers to get into stuff and to spend their money on, and it turns out that plot and story really still make a difference, and having a plan of what you want to do, and they've So it is a really good time to be starting Star Wars, and you're going to get some really great Star Wars going forward, I think. And I'm excited. Sure. I am excited for that. So absolutely. And with that, we have a plan to wrap it up and get into our Loki episode. Cannot wait to get into that. We're getting joined by Mr. Big Morg 3000, so it'll be a nice panel review. and I just love that show so much. I'm looking forward to talking about it with you. And with that being said, thanks for joining us today. We love you all. Eric, you're the man. Great job on the trivia.
Thanks, brother.
I think I won today. I think
you did. You hands down won. It was bad.
Finally rigged a game for me to win.
Yeah. So.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
I'll see you next week. We'll see you all next week, or we'll see you in Loki review. Bye.
See ya. Bye.